you
Mhm.
napping?
I was just, what's going on?
I'm like so ahead of it. I've already added YouTube. I'm like ready to rock.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, I am Molly Sleuth. I'm an asshole from the city of Los Angeles who fled to the beautiful safety of the Midwest. Becky Lou says, I did not get the ceremonial telegram alert that this show was coming on. Glad I happened to hop in. Yes. Hi, Becky Lou. And then, well, we're going to get into where you came in first. So, Randy, tell us who you are. Who are you, sir, besides my best friend?
First off, I missed you guys. Hi, Becky Lou. I hope Big Hair Tsunami's here.
I haven't seen him yet, but I'm certain he will pop in.
I am Randy, former Marine, former police officer, best friend with Molly. I live in close to LA. Don't make that face, Molly.
That's where we met.
Yes,
we worked in Agard together for LAPD Hollywood Division.
Yes.
And we policed those hot dog carts.
Yes. You will not sell illegal hot dogs.
Becky Lou says, hi, Randy. So tonight we're kind of talking about, okay, so we're live a bunch of places. We're on your Rumble, which is the Randy Agard channel. We're on my Rumble, which is where most of the chatting is probably going to go on because I have these great emotes. Here's some tits for you, everyone. There you go. Tits for everyone.
I thought you said tips.
No, they're like, gadoing, gadoing, gadoing. Oh, do you like my new shirt? Speaking of tits.
Nice.
Werewolf.
Pizza.
Werewolf eating pizza.
Outstanding.
Good one. We are on the Kate Awakening channel. And we're also on her Pilled and her ex. This might be the last week that we're on the Kate Awakening. There's going to be some changes going on. So at some point, maybe now, go over to the Rumble or YouTube to Molly Sleuth and fucking subscribe to me. Seriously. Because you might miss me if you're only waiting for me to be on Kate's channel, because I think some things are going to be changing. She's so busy. And I feel like such a jerk texting her every Friday going like, set up your stream. So, okay. So I lived in the hellhole of Los Angeles for over 40 years. But you didn't. So
I lived in a different hellhole. Brooklyn and Queens. Queens also. I have to give Queens their props.
Oh, Queen. This is the first I've ever heard you mention Queens. I
know. I got to stop lying. I lived in Queens for a while.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when did you move to New York?
I was born in Manhattan from Trinidadian parents, immigrants, legal. That's why I get upset when these people are like, oh, you don't like immigrants. No, everybody likes immigrants. We don't like coming over improperly. So I moved there. I was born in 1974. So we lived in Brooklyn for the first part of my life. Then we moved to Queens for a little while. Then I moved back to Brooklyn. Then I joined the Marine Corps. So that's my New York story.
And then you moved to LA.
Yeah, within the Marines, went to MOS training, which is military occupational school or specialty, in Albany, Georgia, and stayed there for a year and a half. Then I came to Oceanside in the Marine Corps. Got married, stayed for the weather, and then joined LAPD after 9/11. So.
And so, I mean, you've never really lived very rural then.
No, it's always been city or nearby city. Even now, I live in a very rural town. It's equestrian, a lot of cowboys and stuff like that. But LA is 47 minutes away. But the nonsense is not here. And I drove around trying to figure out why we don't have this craziness here. The families are intact. So,
because of families?
I think so. I thought it was maybe the churches or small businesses or people have money. No, my next door neighbor's an exterminator. The neighbor in front of me, she's a nurse.
Because you have traffic.
Explain.
The nonsense doesn't go out to where you live because it takes
Right. Correct.
to get to you.
Correct. And
pack a sandwich to come see you for the day.
When you have a community,
it takes me less time to get to you now that I have to board a flight than getting on the freeway.
Well, you were 12 miles from your house from LAPD, and it took you the same amount of time for me to go 57 miles.
Yeah, because that 10 freeway is bullshit.
Right.
Actually, I worked West LA division as a detective there, and that was 12 miles home, and it would take me 2.5 hours to get
Right.
home. Then you have to look for parking.
It's another hour.
That could take a while. But I think that's when I started getting really good at body language, because I can tell by the way you walk if you're going to your car. And so you would just like follow people.
I remember you following an old lady, and she was ahead of you. And one time you were following a bike, and they were beating you. You couldn't keep up with them because of the bad traffic.
Speaking of Koreatown, I got emailed today. I don't know how I got on this person's email list, but I got on this email list. I wanted to tell you, discover your dream condo in Koreatown. Yeah. Koreatown is a shithole suburb of the city of Los Angeles. It's hell on earth. I lived there 17.5 years. Just like 2 blocks from this place. Modern architectural design and an open concept floor plan. And they even give you like a picture of it. It's soulless. We didn't spend a single dollar on any like molding or anything. You don't need any of that. You just get an open shit box. This sophisticated condominium located in the bustling Koreatown neighborhood. You see, when they say bustling, they mean traffic, no parking, and some asshole sleeping in front of your fucking door on the sidewalk shitting himself. That's what they mean by bustling, because Koreatown is a hellhole. Randy, you used to come visit me all the time.
Yes.
Okay, so it's 1,300 square feet. It was built in 2007. So my apartment there, that apartment was 1918, I think. And it was like 950 square feet. It might have been 700 square feet. I'm not sure now. Showcasing modern architectural design and an open concept floor plan. So obviously 1918, there's not enough cars on the road to warrant even having a driveway. Does it come with or without rats and roaches? Listen, this is only 2 blocks away from me, Rod. So it comes with the rats and roaches overload of what was coming, because I had rats coming out of my heater vent. My slumlord told me to shoot them. I'm like, I thought we put some like poison out. One time I sucked a rat in the vacuum. That was a good time. And then we had, it's not just the regular roaches in Koreatown. It's those freaking palmetto bugs, the big ones. And my friend Cynthia was over, and I had just moved in, and there weren't any screens on the place. And I was a top corner unit. And we were doing some like craft project, like decoupaging some like wig heads on the floor of my apartment. And this like hummingbird comes and flies in and lands on the curtain. And Cynthia goes, "Oh, hummingbird!" It was one of those fucking roaches. Dude, those things are terrible. And they're like so big that you can hear them like scratch, like you can hear them like walk on cardboard and stuff. Fuck that. And so I caulked the hell out of that apartment so that I wouldn't get any more of those bugs in my apartment. But rats were coming out of the wall from the heater unit. And I bathed with a hose that came out from under my bathroom sink. You couldn't do your dishes in the kitchen sink because sparks would arc from the refrigerator door handle because it was an ungrounded like outlet. It had some problems. And it's 2 blocks from this place. Actually, it was somewhat condemned. We had to pay our money to the city of Los Angeles until they brought it up to code, because we didn't have any smoke detectors. And my slumlord owned 38 buildings in Koreatown, and we got busted for not having any smoke detectors. So he went next door to his building next door and took out the smoke detectors from next door and put them into our unit so that he could pass the secondary inspection. Like, this is what you're dealing with in Koreatown. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you about this. I don't know how they got my shit, but you can live a block from that with roaches and rats. And for an apartment, they call it a condo, but you're paying for an apartment. So you're still smelling everyone, seeing everyone, dealing with dirty motherfuckers. $750,000. And that can be all yours.
Wait, what'd you say?
749.5, dude.
Good times.
Oh, also, when it says Unit 103, that means you're on the ground floor. That means you're going to have a lot of motherfuckers knocking on your goddamn window, crawling in your window, breaking your window. You don't want anything to do with apartment 10 fucking nothing in Koreatown. But so that was a lot of what caused me to leave the hellhole of Los Angeles. It was just the crime and despair. I know when I moved to Michigan, that's a whole story. But when I moved to Michigan, to be able to buy a gallon of milk at one time and not worry about having my keys and my ID and my cell phone in my bra so that when I get robbed, they just take my purse with my lip balm in it, to be able to just have a whole gallon of milk and have that hand dedicated. Because like in LA, you don't buy more than you can carry. Because if you leave anything on the front seat of your fucking car, you are going to get your window broken in Koreatown. And I had, I think 6 times in 1 year was like my record, but like I didn't leave anything. My center console was open. My glove compartment was open. One time I had my car broken into for half a tin of Altoids. But sometimes they would just break the window and there's nothing in it. Like there's nothing in the car. You'd leave everything open so that they know it, but they still like jimmy the lock. They punch the lock. That costs a lot of money. I paid for 6 windows in 1 year.
Well, I went to my car one time and there was like 6 Mexican guys sitting in a back of a pickup truck. And they go, "Do you work here?" I had a security shirt on. And I go, "No, I'm getting off work." And I was like, these guys are about to jump me. They had broken into everybody's car except for mine. And I'm like, dude, so you park at work and you have to gamble. Are they going to break in your car? And this is downtown LA. And you just come out and you're like, God, please don't let them have broken into my car.
Yeah. One time, because I lived in Rampart, which is a notoriously terrible area of Los Angeles. One of the training officers had left his window down. He was so sick of getting his car window smashed that he just left the window down, like crawl in my car, whatever, do what you need to do. And then they stole his truck. Sucks. And when I was working Venice, when I was working Pacific Division for LAPD, not once, not twice, but 3 times I have taken reports from the liberal, like, oh, I just want to help them out. Like if they want to get some change or have a nice, like clean place to sleep. So I leave my car door open for the homeless people. 3 fucking times I have taken reports for vandalism because they get back to their car and there's a nice, fat, fresh ass human shit in the back seat of their car. So, and really, I mean, if you think about it, it's not really even a crime. It's more of like a civil. It's really a civil issue because you allowed them into your car, and the fact that they shit in your back seat isn't really a crime. And also, being a detective for LAPD, I can tell you, I've had cases. I had an egging once, and the dad saw that they egged his daughter's car, and he goes out and he hoses it all off, and they refused to prosecute because the prosecutor said, yeah, but he washed it off. Yeah, but he didn't like have to wash it off. Like, I mean, so if he would have just looked at it and went, I'm not washing that off, I'm waiting for it to etch in the paint so that I can have a crime report. Like, their intention was to hit the car with eggs that could harm the car. The fact that you healed from your bullet wound doesn't change the crime of shooting at you. That's how I felt, but the prosecutor felt another way, and they refused to file charges on that one. But yeah, LA is just a hellhole, dude. And like, I mean, it was other things too, like, because you don't want to lose your parking spot, like you don't really go on dates or anything because nobody's worth losing your parking spot over. I mean, I would meet you, but I would take the subway when you were working and go to the clubs like a drunk piece of shit dressed like a mermaid. Like, yeah, let's take the subway. And then that's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
But I got pre-qualified for over $1 million house in LA. And I was like, bro, who's paying for this house? And I found a house in Simi Valley, which is very far. It's the other direction from you. And, you know, suburbia, whatever. And some lady had died in the house. So there were some odoriferous complications to the house. And it like had all of her stuff still in it. And I was like, I'll deal with that. If I can get a discount, yeah, I'll clean up the decomp. Like, I'm cool. Like, I got Vicks. Let's go. Like, so that house was only $550,000. And before I even turn on a light or flush a toilet, the mortgage alone with 20% down was going to be $3,875 a month for mortgage. And then my friend Monica, rest in peace, said, well, I'll rent the master bedroom and garage for $1,000. I'm like, cool. So I get to live like a guest in my own home with a coat closet and a tiny bedroom for $2,875 a month. And so like, I think I just snapped and I was like, there's no point to this. I loved my job, but it just wasn't worth staying in the city of Los Angeles. So well, I got the hell out.
The issue is people don't understand that there's like 5 different flavors of homeless. So you were recently homeless. Congratulations on your new home.
I know. Look, there's no plants there. I'm at work.
Oh, okay.
It's all in your hands. Fire truck stuff. So I did buy a house. We'll talk about it.
So there's homeless, like you're in between homes, unfortunate circumstances. There's people in LA who choose to be homeless. There's people who are on drugs or have mental issues. They are a problem for society. So we sacrifice everyone else so that we can take care of. And here's the thing. People that are homeless in California, you have no idea how much money they make. 75,000 to 85. I met someone who makes 6 figures being homeless. And because they spend all their money quickly, they supplement it by breaking into Molly's car. Now, Molly's not my sister or my daughter, so I don't care. Yeah, so I don't care about your car and that you have to pay for it. I care about my ideology and my emotions, and I'm going to sacrifice you working 2 days just to pay for that because I'm not going to charge them, and I don't believe in property anyway. And I'm speaking as a Marxist.
That is a major problem. I think that comes with every major city, though, because you're like a little bit more anonymous, that you don't really care that you're doing road rage or flipping people off or stealing a bicycle or breaking into a car because you don't really know them anyway. Like now that I'm in such a small town, and I'll give you a barometer because I used to run a comedy Instagram called I'd Rather Die Alone. And it was screenshots from the dating apps. And I felt no qualms with screenshotting these dudes going like, bro, this is your profile. Like, okay, let me just share this with the fucking internet. But I would not do that now that I live in a small town because that is my coworker's kid's baseball coach, or that is somebody that was, you know, like everybody's interconnected here. And so people don't break into shit. They don't do that kind of stuff. it's a different quality of life being out in the country.
You guys have a sense of community.
There is a sense of community. Before it scrolls too much, Pammy is in the YouTube chat and says, "Hey, y'all. Hey, Randy. Good seeing you. You've been missed." And Ben is in the Molly Sleuth chat and says, "Okay, now you can start." You already missed it. You missed it all. You missed my favorite line from The Jerk. But yes, I moved here, and it's a long story, but the Cliff Notes, I thought I would be a cop elsewhere. It was utterly shocking. City cop to country cop. They were fucking awful. And I had to move out of that city. I didn't want to be anywhere near them. We did a show on it. It's over on the Molly Sleuth channel, To Protect and Swerve. I think it's the last one that we did. And it was shocking. So I left that city, but I still stayed in Michigan, and now I work for a fire department here because nobody would hire me after the police gave me a bad review. So that's good. But yes, I was homeless this year. It kind of sucked. I moved into like a crack house. It was terrible. This guy, David, that runs Simply Live Properties, was like, "Oh, the only way you'll get out of this crack house," that I had to go to urgent care and get on a medication that caused me tachycardia, was if I had to go into assisted living, is what he said. Like, bro, I wouldn't need assisted living if I could breathe air, if like this whole place wasn't smoking drugs 24/7. And he was like, "I'm going to sue you." Like, you sue me, sir. You sue me. So anyway, he still owes me some money, and I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do about that. But so I moved into storage. This wonderful girl came out and had pity on me from Boston and moved me into a storage unit. It was like lowest point. And then I went to a motel, and then I went to my friend Marie's house, and it was fucking awful. And then I bought a house that was stolen from a dead guy, and that was the whole fucking thing. But then I bought this house, and I should have brought pictures, but I didn't. The only thing I have to show you is I'm making some plans. Like, this house is like a crazy grandma house, and it wasn't cheap, and I didn't get a great deal on it, but it's mine. And if I want to paint dicks on the walls, like, it's mine. I have parking, like, it's good. The basement, there must have been swingers that lived there in like the 60s or something, because it's got red shag carpet, like wall to wall in the basement. And there used to be like red shag walls in this basement. And so I'm going to go with it. I'm leaving the carpet. It's in very good condition. And so I'm going to make it like the psychedelic 60s, like insane, like crazy, like party room. It's like there's so much space. It's 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom. What's the weird shirt you're wearing, Molly? Oh, I thank you for asking. This is my pizza werewolf shirt. It's basically the greatest shirt that ever existed. So I don't know if we're gonna have like an official poll, but there's a dry bar. There's red shag everywhere, and then there's a dry bar, and then it's got these like 3 stations where there's like mirrors now, but like we don't really need mirrors in the basement, and these like swag lights. So there's gonna be like, it's gonna have lava lamps. It's gonna be really fuck ugly. So the top one is like, if I decide to go like with that decor, with like weirdness, or I just go straight for it. Look at these fucking monsters, dude. Look at that guy. Isn't that the greatest shit you've ever seen in your life? I found this new website this week called like Redbubble or something. And it has all these independent artists. And like, I don't know. I'm thinking like, I think I'm going to have a monster lounge. And I think I'm going to keep the red carpet, do all the walls like electric raspberry, and just like turn up the insanity because it's mine and I can do whatever I want with it.
They make t-shirts, right? Redbubble?
Redbubble. Yes, that's what it is. Those monsters are rad. Aren't they, Rod? I think I have to do those. I mean, as cool as these are, like the atom bomb and stuff, and I love that one. I kind of have a thing against like not against pinup girls, but I feel like, you ever see those girls that get like beautiful women tattooed on them as they get older and nastier and stuff? Like they still have these like pinup girls. Like I don't want to be the old lady that's like, remember when I was so beautiful? Like, so, but if I have monsters up, look at this fucking guy. It looks like Lux Interior from the Cramps. Anyway, I'm kind of into this monster idea. Maybe next time, maybe next show, I will bring some pictures. But the house is like, it's not, that's a crazy place. But it has a wishing well. It has a bird bath. And I already have a squirrel friend that comes over. His name is Steve. And I have 2 bunnies that come over every morning. I try to give them carrots and banana and an apricot. They didn't give a shit. They only want birdseed. And so it's just so, yes, Steve. Because he's a thirsty squirrel and his name is Steve, so he's Steve. But it's beautiful. It's like a big house, lots of space. So Randy, if you ever want out of California,
other than the blackouts and the crime and the homelessness, this place is amazing.
Okay, speaking of crime. I still get the like crime blotter from the city. These are the last 3 days of news stories for the city of Los Angeles. And this is according to the Los Angeles Police Protective League. I still get their newsletter. Let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, women shot inside her car in Boyle Heights. Attempted robbery suspect pistol whips worker at donut shop in Harvard Heights. Canoga Park police chase ends with driver plowing into fire hydrant. 2 patients hospitalized, 8 cars damaged in late night Los Angeles crash caught on camera. Police seek help locating vandalism suspects in illegal downtown LA rooftop concert. Bloodhound tracks down missing 5-year-old. And firefighters stop a small transient brush fire in Studio City. Firefighters douse blaze at apartment building in downtown LA. Cause of fire was under investigation. Homeless. And the LA Council is to take a final vote on some spending plan. Give us more money. We're not going to solve any of your problems. Just give us more money. Okay, then Thursday, Woodland Hills standoff. Pursuit suspect had BB gun and a metal machete. I don't know what you'd make a machete out of besides metal. But anyway. LAPD arrests a knife-wielding suspect. That's a different one. Video shows hit-and-run crash that left motorcyclist injured. FBI asked for help finding a shooting suspect. San Fernando Valley residents charged with COVID loan fraud. Authorities searching for escaped killer. Ohio deputy fatally shot while responding to domestic violence call. That doesn't have any nexus in Los Angeles, but I guess they just put it on there. Canine killed in fatal New Mexico police shootout. Science lab sends 2 South LA middle school students to the hospital. LA's mayor declared homelessness emergency. Now some at City Hall want to move past it. Bro, they're still on the street. I think there were 65,000 documented hobos when I left there in 2018.
Do you know how big Pasadena is?
How bad it is in Pasadena?
No, how big it is.
No.
So the homeless population in LA is the same size as Pasadena. So there is a homeless city in LA.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's always been tent cities. There's places where they just get moved to. You've got entire corridors under every freeway overpass, like outside the VA, because they want the VA money, but they don't want to like not be drunk all day. So they just wait outside for their check, like belching on the freaking sidewalk. Okay, and then Friday, this is 3 days of news. Man critically wounded in a South LA shooting. California teen is in need of medical condition and they're missing. A man admits to trafficking cocaine from California. Burglar cleans out a jeweler's, snatches heirlooms and a lifetime worth of work. A couple of other officer ones. Fiery collision with a semi-truck on the 5 freeway. And dog attacks on mail carriers are on the rise. And Mayor Basshole announces online resource hub to help small business. That's 3 days, Randy. That's a lot of chaos. I just want to let you know there are 3 current stories that we're talking about here in Michigan. It's all the rage. We're talking about all 3 of them. There was a found dog. Everybody's looking for the owner of this dog. There's a beekeeping class coming up on Sunday. And the city of Lansing has a bridge that they call Big Penny because it goes under Pennsylvania Avenue. And it's really low. There's 400,000 signs, but these tall trucks just decide to try their luck anyway. And so they hit this bridge all the time. So they're calling the bridge Big Penny, it's trying to eat. And somebody went and put these big teeth and eyeballs on the bridge. There's a big tracker next to the bridge saying she's eaten. So anyway, Big Penny ate her 11th truck of the year this week. So that's these are the stories that are going on in the freaking Midwest this week. So
that rooftop one that sounds like it was no big deal turned into a full-on riot, and they're like, "Oh, so you guys riot for this, you riot for that, and you just burn stuff up for no reason. No arrests were made. The police just watched them do it, and I don't blame the police. You can't arrest certain people. I mean, they weren't my color, but they still."
It's just so different being in the Midwest. The parking spots are bigger here.
We embrace lawlessness.
You do.
You didn't kill anyone, or maybe you did. So what? Maybe they had it coming.
Yeah. I mean, I know working LAPD, I've arrested people and pulled their rap sheet, and I was like, "You were convicted of homicide, and you're out today to be arrested right now?"
I met a 21-year-old who was out. He killed his cousin's boyfriend with a hammer when he was 17. And he's like, "No, I'm rehabilitated." I'm like, "You did 4 years in prison?" He said, "No, I did 1.5 years. I was tried as a child. I became an adult. The next year, they held me for 6 months."
Yeah.
And he's just driving around like, "You killed somebody, dude."
That's wild.
Yeah.
I think that's just another part of living in a city is that you have this laissez-faire attitude of just fuck it, drama always happens. I got another arm. It's not that big of a deal. And it's that broken window theory. If you keep letting all that shit go. And I really think that living in that city is you're slowly cooked frogs. It's just a little hotter every day. So nobody's jumping out of the water and you're all going to freaking die in it.
Do you notice they only get upset when you stop crime? Kyle Rittenhouse and that guy named Penny. You can do whatever you want. Just don't stop the person from throwing the women in front of the train. Don't do that.
Well, and so that's sort of a 2018 thing where we just started feeling bad for the criminals instead of feeling bad for the victims. And dude, it's just so wrong because I prosecuted cases and those victims are never made whole. So you break into somebody's car, but what are you going to make some some drug addict pay you back for your window and your tin Altoids? They're just going to be take it out of my welfare. So it creates this whole shit-tasm. And because you made a claim with your insurance company over this hit and run, or you had to go get this bullet taken out of you, or all of these insurances are taking care of it. So insurance gets raised for everyone. If I steal a pack of gum at the grocery store, you're going to pay more for your head of lettuce to make up for that. So I don't think, although big cities don't realize how interconnected that they are, and that you're all subsidizing crime. And it gets to be a point where it's just ridiculous.
Well, I worked loss prevention, and it was April, and a tiny Target, they had lost $7 million already, and they weren't even done counting how much they had lost, and it was $7 million. And it's not the civilian. Like, citizens would call me and they'd say, "Hey, this guy's over here stealing, come get him." So it's actually just the virtue signaling idiots who are like, no, it's okay for them to steal. No, you get $800 a month in food stamps and assistance. And I remember one guy, he had EBT cards from Nevada, California, Arizona, and somewhere else. He was like, "You want something to eat?" I'm like, "How much do you have?" He's like, "I have $890. Able-bodied 24-year-old.
Yeah. Well, I think I had a case in like 2016, I think 2012, sometime around that. And I ID'd them through their welfare card, which is the only reason why welfare got involved, because they had to ID my suspects. And they were each making $65,000 a year in benefits. They had 2 Mercedes and a BMW, that a 4-bedroom house in Hesperia. And it was just such a racket. And like, I think LAPD was hiring for like $43,000 a year to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and get shot at. But like, otherwise you could just, for $65,000 a year, break into cars and live in a 4-bedroom mansion with your Mercedes in the driveway. So that's good. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever return to a big city. I don't mind the anonymity of it. I just, the crime, the lawlessness is just, I'm fed up.
So I have a different approach than you. What they did during the riots is what I can't move to LA or New York ever again. I know I live close to it, but I would never move to LA because they just have a different law system. Like, you want to sell hot dogs in front of my store that I'm paying rent for? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to pee in front of everybody and pull your stuff out? Oh, this guy's homeless, or he's this religion, or he's purple or green. He can do what he wants. You, on the other hand, you pay for your car, so I'm going to give you a ticket. You live here, so I'm going to raise your rent, and I'm going to go ahead and inspect your food at your restaurant.
Yeah, and like one of the things that like kissed me goodbye as I was leaving California, I got hit by a road rage undocumented migrant who took out the entire front of my car, making his own lane of traffic. My car was stopped, going 0 miles per hour, and he took out the front of my car. And then I had it parked while the insurance was coming to get it, and I got a ticket for having no front license plate. Like, the entire bumper is gone. Where do you want me to put it?
Wow.
So I had to pay that. And it's like $65 or something. Like, do you not see that this car was just like freshly fucked? Like, there's just soullessness. There's a bumper sticker that says "Meter maids eat their young." And I was really feeling it that day. Like, you see what just happened to this anyway. And then my insurance was like telling me that I should give this like gang member money. No. Well, because when he hit you, it caused him to have a brain tumor, and so he wants $206,000. Like, okay. I counteroffer a Xerox of my middle finger and a copy of the California Vehicle Code. Fuck you. Like, I was in the legal lane of traffic. He made his own lane of traffic and hit me. Fuck that guy. And so I still ended up having to pay my deductible. And then because he's a gang member and they do shit like gang members, he sent somebody to break into my house 7 times. I had to make all these crime reports. I had to ID the guy. I have never, and I worked undercover for a year. I worked LAPD gangs. I have never been this close to smoking a human being off this planet than when that guy was on the opposite side of my front door trying to get in. And I'm on the phone with 911 going, I'm going to put the phone down now, because the moment that this door is breached, he gonna go bye-bye. Oh, you need to put the gun down if you want the police to respond. Goodbye. Like, anyway, I don't know that guy knows how entirely close he was to not being on this planet anymore. But yeah. And then the police, like, and this was the shithole city that I left in the Midwest before I came to the Lansing area. And they said, why don't you just meet with the guy and see what he wants? Like, he's putting duct tape on my security cameras. Like, I don't have anything to say to the guy. Thanks. No, I'm good. But yeah, I mean, there's good parts and bad. I loved LAPD, and I think it's just because we're so used to crime that, but we're also like used to people. And I think that's where I kind of wanted this conversation to go with you, Randy, because like there's so many different kinds of people on this planet. If you and I met at the grocery store, I don't know that we'd be best friends all these years. We have very different backstories and all that stuff. But we have so much in common, like so much in common. Like when you break through the whole, where are you from and how have you lived your life? That we're always like how cheap we are and stuff. I guess it shouldn't out us, but like you and I are like 2 peas in a pod. But I think like right now, everything's like so about division and stuff. And politically, we're all being told, I don't know if you've been watching this whole thing, but like the Q people are now all like pissed off and it's all very divided and like Q is real, Q is not real, like this whole thing. And it's like all these groups that were in solidarity to like make the world better, just like killing each other now.
One of the things I got to let the audience know, I have a big mouth, so I talk to everyone. So maybe I'll talk to 10 people, 8 in California, in LA. Actually, I wouldn't call them conservative values, but they're not nutcases. Like they focus on the 2 people who are crazy, but you know, and I know that it takes 3 people to rob a bank and 100 cops to come and stop them. So those 2 people out of 8 mess everything up for everyone. But I hate seeing that side, like Q and all those people fight. I mean, it's like, dude, you got a country to save. You can't be fighting over, I believe, I don't.
Yeah. And I definitely see that on the left. And I mean, you and I were both Democrats. We both defected as the runaway train gathered steam. And, but I hate to see it on the right too, where it's sort of that cancel culture thing is like, oh, he's a RINO because he believes in birth control, so he can't be fully, or he's not, you know, Christian, or like I don't like all that division. And I don't know that I would say I'm Republican, conservative, whatever. Like I feel like I'm the same person. I'm the same person that I've always been. It's just the politics have like done this. And if next year the right guy for the job is a Democrat, independent, whatever, the Molly party, I don't know, I don't care. Like I'm willing to, they don't have me. I'm not, you know, their property to just fuck with and like, oh, I've got to vote that party. But I don't know. I saw that a lot on the left where, you know, oh, well, he's a Democrat, but he doesn't believe that, you know, 50-year-old men should be, you know, fucking children. So forget it. He's not progressive enough for me. Like, oh, well, I feel like that's how you guys lost because you guys got a little crazy there. You got away from yourselves a little bit.
Well, they got a lot crazy, and it's almost like you give me any issue. Who's on the side of the terrorists? Oh, this party. Who's on the side of the gangster? Oh, this party. Who's on the side of trying to do weird stuff to kids? This party. So I can't hang out with you guys. But we love Black people. I don't care. You guys also think men can get pregnant. So you're not a good ally.
Yeah, I would argue about if they love Black people. I think
No, I know they don't. They don't.
They love
what
the
they'll do is
numbers of Black people.
what they'll do is I hate women. I mean, I'm sorry. I hate white people, but I harm Black people. I hate men, but I harm women. It's always whatever group they hate, they also harm the other side. Like people are super pissed at gay people right now. Oh, we hate cis people because they have privilege, and then they harm gay people. I mean, gay people just want to live their lives, and then you throw them in the front like, oh, this is your. If you don't like climate change, you must be homophobic, or if you don't want to get vaxxed, you hate Black people. It's like, dude, enough. Like people are getting fatigued. There's a name for that. So.
Yeah, well, the whole grandma killer thing that happened during COVID. Ben says nailed it, Randy. Yeah, it's always just that like, oh, you're not going to put on a mask. You're a fascist. Like, or I'm just like not sick. Like there's like,
yeah.
Why am I wearing a mask? Like if you're sick, you could wear one, but like I'm not shitting myself so I don't have to wear a diaper. Like I don't really know why I have to wear a diaper because you're shitting yourself. Like I don't know how that works. And I think that's where they lose so many people. I mean, it's not like I wasn't very political, I guess, growing up. I mean, I was a punk rocker. I voted for Ross Perot in '92, and then who knows who I voted for. But I think I didn't pay that much attention to politics, I think, until 2008 when I became a cop and was just like, wait, this is what happens behind the velvet curtain? Shit, I had no idea. And I think like we've seen shit that'll just make us never stop questioning. Maybe.
You know what it is? We're at the front door of reality. That's why most cops become conservative or Republicans or right-leaning, because we see what you're doing doesn't work. Like you're given. So I worked in Compton and Watts, and everyone's getting free money. Everyone's getting free this and free that. So what do? They kill each other. Like I've seen more dead people who look like me than I've ever seen them out. I think maybe 19. And I'm like, this is not working. Like people have to have purpose. You might not have to have a job, but you have to have purpose. And sitting at home every day getting free money, you know what, Molly, you having a green shirt and I having a black shirt, so I'm going to come and delete you or unalive you. You're that bored? So.
Well, but that's part of the problem when you give too much for welfare is that it incentivizes people to not work. So even we had a nice old man that used to work for my city and he just retired. He worked 700 years and then he steps out into the world of retirement and he's like, shit's really expensive. I better go get a job. But he's not allowed to work too much or he gets less Social Security. And like, so basically you're just telling him like, don't work too much or like you won't get, but Social Security pyramid scheme, you put into that. You should be able, if you're a millionaire and work in the stock market or whatever, you should still be able to collect that Social Security that was promised to you all those years. You shouldn't disincentivize, is that a word? From working too much. He's like, oh yeah, there's like a cap. I can't work any more than that. Or they start taking away the other money. And that's right. The same thing with welfare. If I get that job, then that means I'm not going to get as much welfare. And we saw that. I mean, I'm not saying I worked under the table. Certainly, of course, I paid my taxes for everything. But I did know people that worked under the table because like, it's a stupid, club job or this or that, or you're working piecemeal or you're doing costumes or bartending or whatever, and you make tips. And you don't need to report all that shit because they're just going to take more money than you've earned. So, and, you see that a lot with the youth. I mean, I grew up in Hollywood and there was a lot of people that was like, yeah, if you'll pay me cash, I'll come and do whatever. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully Trump's getting in on this taxation shit because it's just too much. Even my coworker was saying that when she first bought her house, it's gone up like 50% since 2017 because of property tax has just been through the freaking roof. And like, what are we spending on? Like, you have potholes out here in Michigan that could swallow a whale.
Well, I was a brand new cop, and this lieutenant comes up when we're getting hard checks. I don't know why he did this, but he goes, I got the same amount you got paid taken away in my taxes. So they took like $2,000 from him and they paid me $2,000. Like, why are you showing me that? But you're taking $2,000 from this guy? Where's that money going?
Yeah. So, I mean, I started working when I was 9, not in the coal mines. But I made better money than the coal mines. I was on commercials. And I made some good money. And so I've been putting into Social Security since I was single freaking digits. And that money shouldn't be taxed. It's, if anything, you should be giving me a lot more money because you've held on to my money for all this time. And it's not making any money. Not for me at any rate. Ben says, why is it the ones calling others fascists that act like the fascists?
Because they are.
Yeah, that's always so interesting to me, especially like I grew up in the punk scene. And so with the punks, it's like there's this whole rift going on with the Sex Pistols right now because Johnny Lydon is like, he's a true punk. And the other ones are just like, oh my gosh, he wouldn't get vaccinated and he wouldn't be in lockstep with the Democrat Party. Like, he's an evil fascist. Like, you just said that he wouldn't be in lockstep. So he's the fascist, or you guys are the fascists because you want to dictate how he thinks about everything. And it's really wild. It's like some high school shit. Like, oh, you like the Doors, but you don't like the Beatles. You can't sit with us. Like, just stop.
Well, what made me leave? It was about 8 big things that made me leave the Democrat Party. But one of them was, to answer Ben's question, I was looking at the rise of the Reich and the fall of Rome. And the Democrat Party mirrors it to a T. Defund the police, the brown shirts, Antifa, another group that I'm not going to name, but just burning stuff up and scaring people, 5 years of council. And the worst part of it, this for you, Ben, they deny all of it. We never said open borders. We never said abolish the police. I'm like, own your stuff. Own it. But it's the people calling everyone fascist or racist or everything else. They're the ones who act like it the most.
But that's like the easiest way to try to shut you down because it works on them, is to all of a sudden you're a whatever phobe or a whatever ist. And I just don't want everybody doing that. The Weimar Republic period is what Ben said. I had to water my creature from the Black Lagoon.
The evil part is, that person doesn't want to be that. So you're using the fact that they are a good person against them. So you're calling a person who's a good person something evil. So now they're defending, whoa, I'm not evil. Well, just do the thing that I want you to do. And that's
well, and that's exactly right, Randy. Like, it's a manipulator, and it's meant to change your opinion or make you even further. Like, so I used to work at this club called Perversion in Hollywood. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I worked Perversion. But I definitely used to go to Perversion every Thursday night. And you know, like, you've seen me running around Hollywood dressed like a fucking asshole. Like, my friends were all drag queens and we had a great time. We would go get all dressed up and go get, crazy on the dance floor and crawling around, just acting like assholes, whatever. And like, we would all use the girls' bathroom. It wasn't that big of a deal. They weren't in there for any kind of sexual purpose. Nobody cared. And it was totally fine. But there was this one dude who used to come in with his tight ass Kelly Bundy dress, and he would go in the women's bathroom and he would jerk off in the mirror. And all of us were offended, me and all my guy friends that were in the women's room. Like, there's no place for sexuality like that. Get the fuck out of the bathroom, bro. He had like this page boy wig on with like a goatee and this like Kelly Bundy dress, and he used to just like look at himself in the mirror and jerk off. So there's a difference. And it's like, I don't care if a lesbian's sitting in the stall next to me, because she's not trying to like tap her toe under the stall and trying to like talk to me or like make me look at her or anything. Like, I just think bathrooms aren't a place for sexuality. That's why it's supposed to be like a safe, sacred place. If you're a dude that's pissing next to me, I truly don't care. But if you come into the bathroom to like jerk off or make me look at you or say something to me, like, then it's no longer like safe for me.
Well, I used to work pride events at this, I'm not going to say what hotel it was. And I would talk to all the different people, and some of the gay guys were like, there's political gay, there's parade gay, and then there's bedroom gay. And I'm like, oh, what's the difference? And he's like, I just want to be with my husband or my boyfriend. This person over here wants to show everybody everything, and then this person wants to make their sexuality. And I said, so how do you feel about it? He said, it kind of disgusts me that you want to. He said, if you're a Christian, go to church. You don't have to yell at Molly and say, you're going to hell, Molly, if you don't blah, 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 blah. Or you're just showing off and virtue signaling. And I said, it's the same thing with us Black people. There's some of us who are like, I just want to live my life. Yes, racism is real, but I'm not trying to push climate change or a vaccine. And if you don't get it, you don't like Black people. It's like, that makes no sense, but whatever.
Yeah. Rod's in the chat and says, I heard the term Trantifa the other day, so I guess the trannies are now organizing. Shit. That's rough. If Trantifa comes into the bathroom and they jerk off in unison, I guess I have to go in the boys' room. But see, here's the thing. Randy's good. Rod, you killed Randy.
Trying here. Thanks, Rod.
But if you make, instead of having one room with many stalls, if you force these businesses through all these like murky politics of like, well, if you pass or if you're not jerking off or if you don't have a goatee, then you can go here or whatever. Like, if you make them all do single stall bathrooms with its own door and its own lock, that's a lot of money. And guess how much you're paying for your next pack of gum? Because they're not going to just like float it. You're all going to have to pay for it. And so I got a problem with that. I'm cheap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even about bathrooms. It's not about, it's always about something else. Like, issue with the left is they're progressives. So a little bit more, a little bit. Oh, you said yes? A little bit more. I'd also like this. So sometimes you just got to, enough, just enough.
Yeah.
And
I think that's like with the city, like with the homeless. It's not enough that they're on the corner. Now they have to stand in the median. Now they have to walk up to your car and bang on the window and go, give me a fucking $1. And it's like, if, you know, I have 12 miles of lights to work and back every day. If I give $1 at every light I'm stuck at, it's going to cost me $1,000 a week to feed the alley cats on my way to and from work. And I don't owe that to you. I'm going to work to make these dollars. How much do I have to break off to you? None, sir. Get the fuck out of the road.
Oh, I wanted to say something about the homeless. I'm not heartless towards them. I've been homeless twice, not once, but twice. And here's something that they told me when I was working a homeless detail. Like, it was kind of like a humanitarian thing. We'd give them resources and we'd reach out to them and feed them and stuff. They said they want to be treated like humans. When you just do this, do whatever you want. Even criminals, gangsters are like, you guys can't do this Wild West stuff. So same with the homeless, same with criminals. Everybody needs borders, boundaries, and barriers. You can't just, oh, we're doing whatever we want. So.
Well, so California gives out over 1/3 of the entire country's welfare money. And
we have a
if
third
you're
of homeless.
making 50% more to not work than a cop who goes to work. Like, I don't owe you a fucking dollar. Get out of the road. 21954A of the California Vehicle Code. I don't remember. It's been a while. Anyway, it's a citation. Get out of the fucking road. So Rod, you said you heard this term. I called this one like a couple weeks ago. The new one, I think this is going to be a new trend. I'm calling it. You heard it here first. The whole trans thing and all the murky Z's or twin spirit, all this shit, it's like played out. Nobody cares anymore because everybody already, jumped in on that, and it's no longer cool or hip or crazy. And so I think the next trend, you heard it here first, fake accents. And it happened to me fucking today. I went to the convenience store to get my coworker some fucking garbage seed oils. And the girl behind the register, who already had the nose ring and the shaved, lopsided crazy hair, and like clearly I need attention, which I'm like no stranger to. I wish I would have printed out a picture of me from my youth, blue hair and the whole nine. So I'm not a stranger to requiring more attention than I've earned. But this girl was like, and will that be all for you? Like in this shit fake accent. I'm like, oh, where are you from? Like, fuck you. You want to play accents? We could play accents all fucking day. And I will ruin, like, anyway, she had a really bad fake accent. And I think that's going to be like the new thing.
From Ireland?
It was her Michigan cocky accent. But that's going to be interesting because if that does like take off where they're all using like fake accents to seem more exotic, to seem more like cool, it's kind of appropriation. Isn't that what you guys were saying about like how I'm not allowed to like braid my hair and I'm not allowed to like go to certain places or like certain music or whatever? So we'll see.
The American problem is we're all special. Us Magazine, YouTube. I have 1,000 followers. So everyone wants to be, it's okay to be a co-star. Like you're the star of your life. It's all right.
I think that's why I did so well as an actor in my 20s, because like everyone wants to be the hot girl in the movie. But like the hot girl has a lot of auxiliary friends. And if you want to be like the disgruntled cashier, like the quirky lesbian, like if you want to do all those characters, like you work all the time. Everybody wants to be the hot one, and there's only one per movie.
I think that's why you and I made good cops. We weren't, I'm primary in the pursuit, or I shot the bad guy. It was, we'll show up and we'll go impound the car for you, and we'll transport your body for you.
That's our claim to fame. Show me backing.
I don't need to be the star of the show. Like I'm super happy just being, I'll be your soldier. Or
Is
Marine.
that the title of your autobiography? Show me backing.
Yeah, everyone wants to be special. It's exhausting. Let's just be Americans, get this country going good, and make eggs $2 for 12.
But I think that's like brings us back to like living in the country is like, I don't need to live in the city. Like today I laughed at, there was a garage sale sign that said that they had like Prada. Like, bro, we are in the corn-fed Midwest. Do you think anybody gives a shit about like, all you want is for your bag to hold your stuff. Like that's it. It doesn't need to have somebody's name on it. And I think there's a simplicity in the country that just doesn't exist in the city. Like we don't really care what kind of car you drive because the road salt's just going to eat it anyway. So you'd kind of get looked down on. Like I get looked down on because I got a 2-seater like hot rod car that I bought in California and dragged out here. And people are like, oh my God, great car. Like, yeah, till it snows and I'm all over the fucking road because it's rear wheel drive. But yeah, I mean, to see Prada on a garage sale sign was like, bro, like, where did you come from? This is so stupid. But, I think in California, there's just different things that they value, like especially like being on the dating apps and stuff. Like you'd see these guys that were just like, you know, they care about the wrong shit. Girls too. How much do you make? What kind of car do you drive? What neighborhood do you live in? Do you rent or own? Like just really focused on material stuff. And like in the Midwest, like they don't even care if you have teeth here. Like it's just different.
Yeah, California. I mean, you can go somewhere and you'll see Dave Chappelle like at the bar with you, and it's like, do I really want to spend $1,000 on my sneakers? And my family's always like, "Why are you dressing like you're homeless?" I'm like, I'm fine. I have a house, cars, I work. Why do I have
One,
to?
you don't want to get robbed. You would never
That's
wear like
another thing.
jewelry in LA.
That's another thing. I don't have a nice car because when you smash my window, I'm like,
Yeah,
pay extra $2.
$2. It's not $2. I've paid for a lot of windows. I've paid for a lot of passenger windows.
And the jewelry thing, yeah. When they were like, "We love criminals and we hate cops," I would hear screaming. And I'm like, you guys voted for this stuff. You embrace
But
it.
also, I mean, I'm not a big fan of over legislation, but the pawn detail, the pawn shops in Los Angeles are voluntary. And I feel like that's something that shouldn't be voluntary. If you come in and you want to give me a bunch of jewelry to weigh and hand you $75 for what I'm going to sell for $3,000, and you're like, cool, thanks. There should be a database of that because it is potentially criminal in nature. And the fucking catalytic converters.
Oh yeah, the cats. That's a big one.
So those should be etched with the VIN. And there are places that'll go and do it for you. I think LAPD usually has some stuff where they'll etch it for you. But if there's some dude that's turning in a bunch of these, like it should be tracked. And the VIN should be on there. And you should have to like substantiate that somehow you have another one.
Some guy woke up to a bunch of noise and he said he goes outside. There's a guy standing in the middle of the street with an AK-47, and his buddy is under a car stealing a cat. And they're in some nice car. And I said, "What'd you do?" He said, "I went back inside. You know what an AK-47 looks like?" I'm like,
fair enough.
Yeah. So
yeah. I don't know. I just wish that you weren't there. I get it, but
it sucks. I mean, one thing with us men, we like when we settle. I think women are a little more adventurous. Like you guys will move, go places. We're kind of like,
I mean, I reached a breaking point that there was just too much crime that happened to me personally. I'll save that. But I just was done. I was done with the city. I loved my job. I slept at work. When I was working like night shift, I would sleep at work because you can't find a parking spot when you get home. So there's no point. But it just like there's more to life than just work. And I had a great opportunity. I was teaching interview, interrogation, and body language lie detection with this amazing sex detective, Nanette Toosby. The best. She is just the gold standard. And she said she wanted me to come over and work sex with her. And not work sex cases with her. And man, I mean, that would be the greatest job ever.
the best time in my life was LAPD.
Yeah. We
Hands down.
We peaked, dude.
But our job died. Like they killed our job in 2020, or like they're miserable. They're like, this is not.
I feel like we were going to a bunch of the Lakers riots and stuff like that prior to 2020.
Stand down.
Yeah. And remember the Occupy LA? I was undercover for that. I don't know when that was, 2016 or something, when they took over the city lawn.
I was
Rod
down
said,
bad.
I loved California, but I reached a point where I couldn't deal with it anymore. Yeah, I mean, Rod fled to Texas. And I got friends all over the place that have lived in California at some point, and we're all refugees. And we think
You know what's
about
funny?
you.
I'll go somewhere else and I'm rich. Like I went to the Dominican Republic and it's like this girl was like, my last boyfriend was rich. I'm like who? She's like you. But here I'm broke. Like I got on a sweaty t-shirt and this dirty hat. And I'm getting blackouts. Remember somebody asked, why is he sitting in the dark? Every 3 days, my house would no electricity, which is good for your food. I mean,
well, I just have to say, Gavin Newsom's electricity is probably on. So,
oh yeah.
BR Togo says, "What a way to enter the live stream." I don't even know what I said, but double that. So thanks.
Oh, the sex.
And you're on the Kate Awakenings live chat. This might be my last live stream on the Kate Awakenings. So if you want to catch us, hopefully you do, because you do add good tidbits. Come over to the Molly Sleuth channel and follow us over there. And then if you're over there, if you guys are already over there right now, you might as well give it a little dink-dink-a-doo. Give a little like. Might as well. Costs nothing. Makes us feel like millionaires. Well, so what is your game plan, though? Because I know that you've been traveling a lot for family and you've got a lot of family needs that are all over the fucking place and stuff. And you don't have to spill the beans.
Yeah, I don't want to trauma dump on the audience. Like it's been insane, to say the least.
But so, I mean, your house is nice. Do you see yourself living there when you're 60?
The issue is I'm by myself, and from seeing 50 is such a weird age because it's like you're at the top of your game, but you have elderly parents. So seeing them, I'm like, I'm going to end up like you, and I'm going to be by myself in California, of all places. So do I see myself here? No.
Yeah, because I mean,
the real number.
You need to make some moves for later. And I don't know if you've seen these or not, but you could be living in a house with these monsters right here.
I knew you'd like that green one on the end. That's from the Blue Lagoon, right?
Fucking Black love Lagoon? Them all. It's this guy. He's on that website, whatever it's called, Redbubble. This one is sort of Sleestack adjacent, sort of Phantom of the Opera. And I don't know who this guy is supposed to be, but I just love their like manic monster energies. Like, I love monsters so much.
Sleestack from Lost in Space, right? Or Lost in Time?
Yeah, Sleestack are from whatever it is with Chaka. Rose Solart says, great emotes here. Yes, I do pride myself in changing the emotes each week. Land of the Lost. Thank you, Ben.
Land of the Lost. Nice. Land of the Lost. Yeah. Not Lost in Time.
And BR Togo says, Randy should leave Cali. I know. I'm trying my best. What more could I offer him besides free monsters?
There's only 6. I need 7.
I'll get another one.
No, to answer your question, I shouldn't. It's worse than you. So here's the thing: like when you have January 6th, they're like, "Oh, look what they did." When we do bad stuff here, the media tries to hide it. It's worse than you guys think it is. It's way worse. Like you can't imagine how bad it is.
Yeah, and so it's like when you see the news and stuff there, I mean, obviously the news stories, the horrendous news stories over the last 3 days are from the Police Protective League. So they are probably more pro-police than the news is. But, I mean, that's 3 days worth of news. And it just sounds like a freaking war zone.
I had a guy come back from over there. I don't know if it was Afghanistan and he comes back. I'm a brand new cop, and he's a regular cop. Like I was a probationer, basically a recruit, whatever. And he's like a cop. And he's like, it was better over there because it was so wild. We work in like Nickerson Gardens. That's one of the projects in Compton. Just think of training day, guys. And it was bad. Like I've seen I seen a 3-year-old get shot in the leg, and he wasn't crying or anything. He was mad that I couldn't remember his sister's name. And that's like nothing. All kind of stuff, like people's brains falling out of their head. And this is insane, and it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I remember when I worked Pacific Division, they warned me. There was this one, like, we'll say apartment complex. But when you'd go in, they would roll the dumpster behind the car so that they would box the car into the complex so they could shoot at you. It's like, duly noted.
And that was how many years ago?
When did I work there? 2012, I guess.
So more than 10 years ago. And this was when they weren't pro-criminal.
Yeah, I did get into a funny use of force there. I remember writing in my report, I used her hair as a controlling agent to guide her to the ground. My watch commander was reading it and just was like, really, Molly? This could happen. Oh, yeah. Randy could work for the National Forest Service and help the nice Bigfoots survive stupid people.
I got a question about Bigfoot. In Virginia, they love Bigfoot. What's going on with Sasquatch?
Dude, my coworker loves Bigfoot in Michigan too. In fact, he just bought some property and I bought him this Bigfoot statue for his yard. And it's like eating all these lawn gnomes. It's like the ugliest thing you've ever seen. And he likes it. He's like, yeah. And I got him a Bigfoot sticker for his cooler. I don't know. People are just into Bigfoot. It's like,
yeah, big time.
It's a different culture here. I'll tell you that. I mean, there are things here that like you don't think about in the city that are like really popular here. Not just like food and just everything. They always say they're all set. Hey, do you want to, can you, whatever, do you want half my sandwich? Oh, thanks. I'm all set. Like that's a whole thing I had to learn. And Gizo Pete's, that's like a thing here. They eat olive burgers here. I can't think of really like what else, but Michigan has some of its own culture, but Bigfoot is like a big thing here. People really like him. There's people who have like statues and all kinds of stuff of Bigfoot in their front yard. Like, I don't know. It's just a thing.
Well, when I visited you, the women are friendly. They're like, Happy Father's Day. And I'm like,
see, you could be with a hot little honey right now.
I could set myself on fire in LA and women aren't going to look at me.
But okay,
Karen
but
Bass,
so
especially.
Right. We have had this conversation though, because one, like the women there are really shallow. And you've been on these dates where the girls are like, hey, can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? And I'm like, I would never ask somebody to buy me anything. And I think it's just a lot more like normal here. So
some of the guys out here are a little bit too much too. I got this. I'm a boss. I'm like, stop leading with your money. It's like her being half naked. And why does he want sex from me? Why does she want money from you? So.
Well, because that's the exchange. That's the exchange rate. Yeah, please consult with my I'd Rather Die Alone Instagram handle if you want to see an overwhelming amount of what men in Los Angeles are like and why I will die alone. Roast This Alert says, I'm pro green olive on pizza. Keep that shit on your side of the pizza because I don't want anything to do with that. I'm unashamedly pineapple, barbecue sauce, chicken.
Wow, you just went south.
I have a pizza right there. As a matter of fact, I got myself my weekend pizza. It's waiting for me.
I might do the same.
Isn't Dog Man a big thing in Michigan? I don't know that I've ever heard of. I mean, I've heard of Dog Man, but I haven't seen him on the trails yet at all. I shall pass on the olive burger, but I will take an egg or pineapple on the burger. I don't know that I'd have egg and pineapple on the same burger, but I fully agree. Pineapple teriyaki sauce burger or a fried egg, maybe some bacon. barbecue sauce on a burger. We can go have burgers together for sure. Olive burgers sound like something they outlawed at Nuremberg. Okay, so if you don't know, olive burgers are literally green olives smashed into the hamburger patty. I know. It's vile. No. Oh, hi, Henry. He says, hello, all. Bigfoots protect nice people from the dogmen. I don't know if Bigfoots would love me or eat me and throw me into the... I'm not like that worried about it, but we have like real stuff here. We have bears. Like there is stuff here that you have to be concerned with. There you have rabid hobos. Here we have animals, which may be easier dealt with and reasoned with.
What's a dogman?
Dogman is like Mothman, Chupacabra, Bigfoot. It's just another cryptid dog man.
Good times.
Like
Molly, I hate to side swipe. The side swipe. What does the chat think about black fatigue? It goes along with what we're talking about, but
okay.
So what do they say?
We'll let people tippy tap on that, on black fatigue. But I think I first heard it from Fleckus Talks, who I just think is funnier than hell. I love Fleckus and Richard.
It goes along with the city versus country versus conservative.
Black fatigue. But do you think that black fatigue is only city, or do you think that it's country as well?
No, I think people have gay fatigue, woke fatigue, liberal fatigue, Democrat fatigue. Anything that's not being addressed, like here's the deal. I always say there's three kinds of black people: good black people, bad black people, and black people that can't tell the difference. And the ones who can't make it bad because the bad ones, they're just bad, just like there's bad white people. But the ones who can't tell the difference make excuses, and that's what pisses everyone off. They're like, they're robbing the store because...
Rose Sisselart says, I feel like it's an op trying to divide America by race. Henry says, I'm just fatigued in general. But yeah, I think that you're right. It's like, if you can't separate you from your color,
right?
You have to be fatigued with everything. Then I think that that's problematic.
And I agree. I'm tired of the last 5 years. I don't care what color, just non-common sense fatigued. Like, make it make sense. You want to come here, come to America. Just do it the right way. You want to send money overseas, make sure we're okay.
Yeah.
You want to rob a store? No, you can't rob a store. I'm sorry.
Well, but I think that's different. So I would say if you want to be crime fatigued, for sure. Yeah. Or grifter fatigued or hobo fatigued, like the ones knocking on your window, then be fatigued from anyone performing that act, but not like, oh, you're this color or you like that music or you voted for that. Like, I think that that's pigeonholing people. And that's kind of what we're talking about. It's like, oh, you're a RINO if you don't, follow this, that, and the other. Like if you believe in some war, or you believe in IVF seems to be like the new one.
That's why I like you and I and the chat. Like we're just different. Like we're not caught up on, I mean, are there issues in certain communities? Yes, absolutely. But you and I and the chat, we're not caught up on all of the, even the far right gets it wrong with a lot of stuff. The far left gets it wrong with a lot of stuff. The left really gets it wrong with a lot of stuff. But we're just above all that stuff. It's like, are you a good person? All right, get in my car. Let's go.
Yeah, but so just looking at one stereotype, even if 99.9% of the rapists were cis white males, that doesn't mean that cis white males are rapists.
Right.
I guess I'm not allowed to use that word on YouTube, whatever. So I guess I'm not a fan of looking at the pigeonhole instead of the act. I guess
even gangsters. A lot of people hated gangsters when I was a cop, and I was like, some of these guys are actually kind of honorable. I mean, I'm not
They
saying I would join
really
a gang.
are. Yeah.
Like the older ones are super. They're like, you guys got to chill out and calm down. I'm like, oh, you're a gangster. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm a piece of shit. But
Yeah. I
my point
worked
is,
gangs for LA, and there really isn't a big difference between them and cops. You know, they have a style of dress and a hierarchy, and they want to be recognized on the street, and they really believe in camaraderie, and they have a whole complicated set of rules within their power structure. And the only difference is that they don't have to follow the law, and we do. So, but yeah, I took gangsters to jail for things that they did, but I didn't fault them for it. They had a job on the streets. I had a job on the streets. And hopefully, I had a lot of respect for some of the guys, not for what they did that caused them to go to jail, but for them in their, their role in the community. And I don't know. I still think about some of them and hope that they're doing better and that they weren't. You had some good kids that just didn't see any other way to be able to buy a car and like just some of the simple shit. And it's like, God, if you could just go work at stupid Starbucks or something, like you would make money that the police can't take from you. The fact that you're like stealing stuff to go pawn it to get the cash, like the police can take that money from you 24 hours a day. Like you're not free. You're burdening yourself. And now you're going to risk going to jail, writing your name on a dumpster. Like for what reason? Like the trash is yours? Who gives a shit, dude? Like go earn enough money to buy that building that comes with a trash can. You don't have to write your name on your own trash can. It's yours. Like, so I just feel like it's really kind of a small-minded way of looking at where they are in their little biosphere. Because if you think about it, like I feel bad for them because they can't ever go on vacation because like they're only cool on their block. So you're not going to see them like going on a Roman holiday, like representing and getting that same like, respect on the street that they get when they're, walking Pico Boulevard or whatever. So.
You don't want to hear something crazy? The whole pro-criminal thing really messed them up. They're like, I got to chill for a while. I'm like, why? It's crazy out here. I'm like, you're a gangster. What do you mean it's crazy out here? These, who, they've allowed us to do anything we want. So, and it's too much. I'm like, are you at war? And they're like, yeah, we're at war with everyone. And I don't feel sorry because you chose that life, but I kind of feel sorry because their faces just look like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Like,
yeah. But like, how do you, they have to jump out. It's a whole thing. Like, I don't know. I did have some gangsters. I certainly won't name them here, but they would like rat on their own gang because they were just like, okay, you should probably know this, whatever. Like, so that's the kind of respect that we had for one another, that we had an open line of communication. Rosa Solar says you can't damage other people's property like Tesla because you think it's a political statement. Yeah, that was really dumb. Like, that's just so stupid. Henry says, Randy, is that Hold Fast your shirt a steering wheel company?
No. I don't know if you can read it.
It says Hold Fast, faith, family, and freedom.
So what's weird is I'll wear this shirt on planes and you'd swear my hair was on fire. Like I thought this was America. I just have a shirt on. And they're looking at me like, oh, this guy's Antifa. And that was in Texas.
You are?
No, they were just looking at me crazy. Like, in Texas, which is weird because that's a red state. And then I get to New York, they're cool. So I'm like, somebody's lying.
Well, there's some very blue parts of Texas, but I don't know how the flag got to represent like such negativity. It's really wild. Rosa Solar says, hold on, Grandma needs her glasses. Absolutely, they had rules and held the wild ones in check. The pressure on kids being recruited cannot be understood sometimes. So in LA, they changed a bunch of laws in California with Prop 47, Prop 57, and AB 109, that if a kid gets jumped into a gang and commits a homicide, that that they don't have the same penalties as an adult. So what was happening with these gangs is like, you got to find the youngest one of your crew to go do all the work while the OGs sit back, so that the OGs wouldn't have to go to prison. But what they were doing is creating these like lethal children to continue the gang. And it really is, I mean, it's I think that's kind of a double crime. So BR Togo says, like, the local gangs fighting over who owns the Chuck E. Cheese parking lot. Yeah, it's like, congrats. You own the Chuck E. Cheese parking lot. Congrats. Rosa Solart says, when you're getting out of the gang, you can't just give 2 weeks notice. That would be really, I would like to see that resignation letter, like, spray painted on the dumpster. The turf wars over the ball pit were intense at yeah, that's good. Yeah, Austin is like San Francisco. I don't go there. Yeah, Austin is really like San Francisco.
Oh, yeah. Midwest. They destroyed. Yeah.
It really, it's like not Texas. So.
Molly, I got to back up a little bit. When you said, why did the flag become so? I think because we have this binary. I think the right grabbed a bunch of stuff like Christians, the flag, patriotism, the military, police. And I think the left grabbed a bunch of stuff like kids. You know what I mean? But I think the whole flag thing is, oh, that represents hatred and blah. I love this friggin' country. And if this country is so bad, maybe we should build a wall so we don't have these people come and stay in this Nazi country. So make up your mind. Is it a bad country or should we let these people in?
Right. I feel like the flag already represents like an amazing amount of diversity. Like, it's not just.
The American haters never hate the parts of America that suck. They don't hate the media. They don't hate Hollywood or like P. Diddy and stuff like that. They hate like freedom of speech and actual diversity of thought. They hate they hate the good stuff about America. So I friggin' love this. I've been to other countries. So there's countries that friggin' suck. Take you in the backyard and chop you up with a machete. And my cousin's the sheriff, so I'm gonna be okay. In America, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, as much as I hated the police at that other agency that I worked for in the Midwest, it wasn't like living in Mexico where you have to like pay people. Like, I get pissed at paying tips here when I went and picked up my pizza today. I can't even imagine having to like buy off cops because they're going to say that I ran a stop sign that I didn't run because I wasn't even driving the car. Like, I just like that amount of corruption is like, I'm out. But yeah, when I was in Hong Kong, I was walking through this like market and they were trying to pickpocket me. I had a bag slung. I didn't really have anything much in it, but they wanted in this bag. And so they were all working in concert with one another. And what they would do is that one of them would grab my boobs while the other ones were trying to get in the bag. And the boob grabbing was the distraction to get me to like turn and go, who just did that? So that the other one could try to like go into the bag. And this just kept happening as I'm like walking through this market. So then I just start walking, like I have the bag in front of me and I'm walking through, like I'm going to sock the next motherfucker that gets anywhere near me. And then it stopped. But it's like, you shouldn't have to walk through a public street with your fists up ready to clobber people. But that's where I was at.
Yeah, we're not perfect, but you know, we're better than a lot.
Rosa Solart says, Randy totally hit on it. The left calls the world to come here and then says it's so bad here. What are they doing? Calling everyone to somewhere bad? Yeah, we're so racist. Everybody come on in. We're going to treat you like shit, so come on over. Henry, El Salvador is a close second now, LOL. Well, I thought El Salvador, weren't they just like jailing people all fucking willy-nilly? Just like, oh, you met a gangster once? Straight to jail. Like, I thought they were like jailing a bunch of people.
They are. I got mixed feeling. I mean, they're one of the safest countries right now, though. So I don't know.
But so, I mean, I'm I'm a big fan of rights, and I don't think you throw people in jail because they're affiliated with people who have committed crime. I get that it's going to make your books look real nice, but what does that do for the ultimate trust of your country? And El Salvador is their own fucking thing, but I don't think that would fly here very well.
Well, you and I worked Hollywood, and it would be cool to have gang tattoos. And they weren't in a gang. They were just, oh, I'm in Hollywood. Let me, what gang are you with? And they weren't. They really were just thinking it was cool. Now I'm going to prison for this. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be a conversation we're going to have eventually, because when we're talking about shipping our prisoners to other countries, we do it to other states already. We've done it for years. Like a bunch of a specific gang that I was assigned was sent to Arizona to complete their sentences under Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Maricopa County. But to ship them to another country and have no oversight, and they don't have the same constitutional rights that you do have here, who's to say, like, what happens if there's a complaint that they're getting beaten or starved or whatever? Like, I'm all for saving money, but not if it comes at the expense of people's rights.
Just so the chat knows, I'm by no means pro-criminal or anything like that. My issue is we get a Democrat president and they're like, oh, we have a prison over in El Salvador we can send you patriots to. And you got to be careful with, I'm not saying anything's wrong right now. I just see they can take something like that and pervert it in the future. And you got to be careful.
Yeah. And I don't know the answer to it, but I think if you had it where you had an American representative working for the jail to make sure, are they getting 3 hots and a cot? Like, are they getting what they get? I mean, our prisons are crazy. They have yoga classes and kosher food, and it's getting a little rough. Like, sex changes and free tits and all this stuff.
You get to go home.
So that needs to be nipped in the bud. I think you could make it a lot cheaper here by just saying, listen, bro, you're not kosher. You're still eating pork top ramen. We're not giving you these like beautiful steaks for dinner. Eat your fucking burrito and shut up. You want to eat steak? Don't go to prison. Like, that's kind of like, I don't eat steak, and I've been working since I was 9 years old. So that's expensive. But it does bring an interesting question, though, because is that a violation of their Fourth Amendment? Or I should say, is that a violation of cruel and unusual punishment? Because if you go to prison in California, you can still get conjugal visits where these little honeys that write you and go, I love serial killers. Like, cool, baby, come suck my dick. You can get that in California. But then if I ship you to El Salvador, then how do I ensure that your baby mama or all your girlfriends from the internet or whatever the hell, I don't know that they do conjugal visits in El Salvador.
Well, here's what the chat's going to say, and I completely agree with them. We're deporting illegal immigrants who, on top of being illegal, are also criminals. So, A, you're not supposed to be here. B, we're sending you to, I want to say your country of origin, or are we sending like Mexican, Venezuelans? Or I don't know. I'm talking out of my behind.
It's a conversation that we're having just over saving money, is that El Salvador is like, send more. It's a lot cheaper here. We'll take care of them. So then it's like, at what point do you say, okay, well, you're from La Ciudad de Los Angeles, pero tú no hablas nada de inglés, so we're going to send you to a Spanish-speaking country because, I mean, you're American, but you speak Spanish, so you can go to El Salvador. And now
I'm not saying
your
send
wife
them or
can't come.
I'm not saying send them or don't send them. That's not my. I'm just asking questions. I'm just curious about this whole process. And again, I think I can't remember her name, but I think what she said in the chat was correct. Like, come here correctly. And all of this is on the hands of everyone who said, oh, we're going to ship these people here and get votes. Because here's the thing, if you don't care about them, this is what pisses me off. They don't care about Americans. You really think when they bring illegals here, it's we love illegals, it's or undocumented or whatever you want to say. It's not a we love you thing. It's I want cheap labor. I want somebody to clean my toilet, pick my crops, and vote for me. So it's not a good thing. You're bringing them here under horrible circumstances. They're getting harmed on the way over here, all kind of stuff. So.
But don't you think that that's the way that they treat the Black community too? It's like, oh, pat, pat, pat on the head. Don't worry, you poor little idiot. We know that you don't know anything about the internet. Vote for us. We'll give you free bullshit. And we'll keep you down. We'll keep you on welfare. We're not going to help you succeed.
Well, the thing with that is promises made, promises not kept. And the thing I think with the replacement, and they, oh, that's racist. No, they really are trying to replace the Black vote because we are waking up to the fact that they're not doing anything for us. The only time they do something for us is they'll use the props. Oh, you don't want to get vaccinated. You don't like Black people. You don't believe in climate change. I'm not saying I don't believe in climate change. I don't think you driving here in an SUV and flying a private jet with your giant carbon footprint is reasonable. Oh, you don't like Black people. What the F?
Yeah.
Anything you want done, you're like, oh, even the Joe Rogan thing. Joe Rogan was like, oh, I'm kind of questioning it. So they bring up a 12-year-old video of him saying stuff about Black people. So it's basically, let's sick Black people on him like we're a dog or something. It's like, really, guys? So.
Oh, I didn't know that about Joe Rogan, but yeah, I mean, they do. It's interesting that you get, and with voting, it's like there are demographics, and okay, we want to go after the single white cat lady vote, whatever. But to treat all single white cat ladies like they're all like have this hive mind is just insane. The chat is going crazy. GM's Ultra Laser Engraving is over on the Kate Awakening. Hello. Tonight might be our last night on the Kate Awakening channel. So you're going to want to come over to the Molly Sleuth chat where it is going. If you want to follow us for future weeks, because Kate's got a lot going on and we're just, there's a lot of things moving. Rosa Solart, she's not letting you go, Randy. She says that you would probably grow stuff great. You have a hidden farmer vibe. Okay, I just wish I had a picture of Rabbit Rock right now. Like, Randy has a backyard that doesn't even grow weeds. Like, it's just like a salt flat. Like, there's nothing. I mean, that is Los Angeles because it's a desolate hellhole. So I think that's funny that you have, but maybe you don't know. And listen, you know where you can grow anything you want? Michigan. I'm going to be growing some apple trees. I've got some plans for this yard. Thank you, Ben. He says, if you haven't hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs up. So the thumbs up will be up. I like that. Crowder called the churches funding the migrants to get here and asked how many they would take in. None. They hung up on him and they wouldn't take any into their own homes. So, yeah, I mean, that's like they do all those man on the street things like, oh, do you believe that we should, do this, that, and the other? Oh, yes, of course. Great. We got one right here. Oh, hey, come over here, Jose. Yes. Okay. He's going to, oh, thank you so much. Whatever. And they're like, wait. No, I don't have any space. But it's like, well, who do you think we're, and I think that's what a lot of the country didn't see is what California has seen for years. Because when you have this influx of what I'll just call the parasites taking the parking spots of the hosts, the jobs, the mates, the everything, like the last box of Fruit Loops, like everything is more of a struggle. And I mean, think about if you're like throwing your own party and somebody just like, opens the door and goes like, fuck these cupcakes. Like, bro, nobody even invited you. You didn't even have an invitation. So maybe you don't critique my freaking cupcakes. Get the fuck out. And do you want people at your party that have been invited, and I'll bring the casserole and I'll bring the napkins? Or do you want people to just walk in and go, these cupcakes are bullshit. I like chocolate. Like, bro, nobody invited you. You get like 2 weeks of growing season in Michigan before the glaciers come back for the winter. Sir, you've been to Michigan one time and now you think you know about Michigan glaciers? Okay, it does get frozen. But all those tulips and everything, they're still under the ground and they're like just waiting for spring to come and they pop out. Henry says, I house illegals. Yeah, but enough about your wife. Just kidding. Rose Solar says, gently call the parasites. I don't know what to say. It's just, yeah.
Oh, Molly, I did want to say something because people like to take stuff out of context. When Molly said, pat you on the head and you guys are too stupid to use it, it was actually Joe Biden who Molly's quoting right there. And a bunch of Democrats said what Molly just said. It wasn't Molly who said it.
There was a lot of really good memes.
Yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that because you never know what will happen in the future. We get gigantic. Look what Molly said. And Randy didn't even say anything back.
Yeah. One, I'm not gigantic. I'm only one like away from being gigantic. Who's it going to be? Who's going to do it? Oh, Henry. Yeah, I feel like I would be really insulted if they said, oh, the white ladies in Michigan with bunnies and monster basements, like you guys are all alike, and so we already know how you're going to vote, and you're just going to do whatever I tell you to do. Like that would be really insulting to me.
Well, the left has this. They look at everything in boxes. Like all women are like this, and all black people are like that, and all gay people are like this. And working pride, even the G in LGBTQ is not the same. Like there's all different kinds of gay people, all different kinds of lesbian people, a lot of whom don't even agree with what's going on. A lot of black people don't. Like we don't hate this country. We really don't hate America. But that's what a small
But that's what's so
Marxists,
crazy is, again, it's that division. It's saying you're either rainbow crew or you're cis. And it's like, no, not really. Like I've got a lot more friends that are rainbow crew that don't identify with rainbow crew. I've got Trump supporter friends that are part of the rainbow crew.
It's pizza toppings. You, myself, and the entire chat could go get pizza, and the only difference would be someone wants pineapple, someone wants whatever, and that's it. But we're all eating pizza. Oh, I hate you. You like for what? So,
yeah. I just wish that we were a little bit more like lenient. I mean, there are certain things where it's like, okay, that's my line in the sand. Like, I don't want you near my children because of this, but it doesn't mean that I can't like be in line next to you at the grocery store. Like, I just think there's so many real problems in this world that when we start looking at people like, oh, you like Candace Owens, or like right now, everybody's like got it for the guy who's doing her show right now. I can't think of his name, Ian Carroll. And like the guy literally just like went through ingredients in the grocery store, and he's just he wants to learn a lot about the world. And just because he's not a super Trump supporter or whatever, like doesn't mean that he doesn't have value. I mean, look at who we have running us right now. We have so many like former Democrats, from Trump to RFK Jr. and all these people. It's like I feel like this is the time for unity and not division when it comes to like, oh, well, you like the Doors, but not the Beatles. Forget you. Like,
well, here's the crazy thing, and it's for the chat. Molly and I have seen real effing monsters. Like there's just people who are a real problem, and those are the problems with society. Like I seen a guy, he was missing parts of his body because he was smuggling drugs, and they cut off like every other finger. They chopped up his tongue. He was speaking weird. And I was like, do you still sell drugs? He's like, No, because a bunch of money came up missing. They found out it was my friend, but they had already cut me up. And there's stuff like that going on. And you invite that into our country because they did it to them in Mexico. And I'm not saying Mexicans are bad or immigrants are bad, but you don't want to bring certain stuff in. Like somebody getting their head chopped off. You don't want to bring that here. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the cartels. That's just that criminal element. And it's not saying that Mexicans are chopping off heads, but like you have to end the crime. And if you want to say that that's Mexicans, like you're wrong. Like true Mexicans don't want heads cut off and drugs going through and all this shit either. So I think everybody wants to live a peaceful life, and to say that, if you're this color, then you're doing this is like, I mean, that's just ignorant shit. So.
No, a lot of Hispanic people voted for Trump because they didn't like the whole, who really started hating the whole illegal thing? Illegals, because they were like, there's a finite amount of resources, and if you keep bringing people here, it's going to be a problem. And
that's just like the homeless. Like, this is my corner. You can't stand on my freeway off ramp and beg for money.
Right.
Yeah, but like nobody was standing here, so I just went. Doesn't matter. It's my fucking corner. And then you have them hitting each other with lead pipes. And guess what? The taxpayer pays for both of them to go to the hospital and jail. So
that's why, chat, you see kind of stronger guys on some corners because they beat up some other people to get that corner.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of another use of force that I got into with somebody on the corner. It's no joke. There's a whole like hidden set of rules for standing at that corner.
For crime in general, for homelessness, for drug use.
And even the women that stand there and like look all pathetic and all that shit, then they have to go hand it to some fucking gangster. And I don't think people understand that. If you don't live in LA, you don't really understand that, like, every time they're selling bullshit on the corner, even though they have nothing to do with gang members, those gang members pull up and go, you got to pay for some protection. Mm-hmm. Protection from who? From me, motherfucker. Give me some money or I'm going to beat you up. And
food trucks, the little carts, the flowers, the oranges.
Yeah, the blankets with the stolen shit from my car, like all of that.
I seen them selling what do you wash? My God, laundry soap. I'm like, how'd you get so many laundry soaps? We go steal it. And here's the thing, they don't even sell it for like less than what you get it from in the store. Don't ask me how I know that. And then on top of that, there's a bunch of prostitutes there. And I'm like, there's kids that live on this block. Aren't you? It's bad. I mean, girl walking in a bikini in the middle of Figueroa, she's not going to the beach. Well, leave her alone. You're violating her. All right, guys, whatever.
Yeah, stop buying your laundry soap at the Sloss and Swap Meet.
I don't. I swear I don't. Because it goes towards a whole criminal enterprise.
Yeah. I was at the swap meet by Los Angeles Community College, and this guy was selling like a book of DVDs, like straight from somebody's fucking car. And I like pulled out a fucking CD. I was like, bro, if you can tell me one song on this Neubauten CD, like you don't even know who this band is. And I was like, do you have my CDs that were stolen last week? Because I'm still pissed off.
Here's my thing with property. You worked for it. You gave your life force for it. Oh, you have insurance. That's not the way the economy works. It's not.
Yeah.
Supply,
but you're just
demand,
paying for that again.
Oh, yeah.
People don't understand how it's all subsidized.
Yep. Criminal communism.
Yeah. Circle of One says criminality is the problem, but climate change, yes, it's the cow farts. The cow farts are the problem. How many?
Eat what's on your plate. If you can't fix the pothole, you can't fix my pothole, and then let's do climate change. Oh, we can't. Okay.
Well, and that's the problem that we're having in Michigan right now, because our property taxes are going up so much. And for what? Like, we're not seeing that in potholes. And my power was out for 36 hours. And like, they have the technology to bury these lines so that they're not falling every time the wind blows. Like, it's possible. And we're paying all this money for street services and this, that, and the other. And we're neglected in a different way.
I always say these people have a plate problem. Like, you have food on your plate and you're looking at what's going on over there. Eat what's on your plate. Another thing is, I'm hungry, feed me, and then we can go over to whatever other country. So it's always about like what's going on at our table. I'm worried about those guys over there. How about our homeless? And if you want to work on this big project, oh, you can't get this high-speed rail going, Mr. Newsom? Then you can't fix the planet.
Yeah. Well, when you have homeless people here, when you have hungry kids here that are on the meal plan, when you have people on welfare here, you have no right to be inviting more people to the party. And, but there are people who are intentionally part of that system, intentional parasites, if you will. But that's just because we allow it. Like, if you tell us you're in prison and you need kosher steaks and tits, like, we'll give it to you. And like, at some point, somebody's got to tell you to fuck off. Rose Sisler says, if you have to buy replacements because someone stole it, it's not the same thing. It's not the CD you listened to when your brother passed on or whatever. That stolen CD will never mean as much to anyone else but you. Listen, it's V&V Nation Empires. And it was the first pressing. I can't find it. I really want that CD. Property tax is ridiculous while I drive down the road, weaving left and right to miss all the potholes. You have no idea. I mean, the potholes here are just crazy. But again, I would never be able to afford my beautiful monster basement in my new house. Well, it's a 100-year-old house, but
well, tell the chat there's nothing like blowing out my tire on the way home in the middle of LA, because our potholes are, you don't need four tires.
Yeah. And wasn't who was the guy who wore the brown makeup? Tony Villar, your city mayor, Antonio Villaraigosa, that changed his name to Antonio Villaraigosa from Tony Villar, because he wanted to sound Hispanic to get the brown vote. And boy, did he. And I met him at the groundbreaking of the Rampart station, and seeing him in person was just like, I cannot believe how you're wearing brown face. Like, how is somebody not punching you in the fucking face right now? Like, you're making a mockery, pretending to like habla español. Like, bro, come on. Like, this is so patronizing. But he got audited from KFI, which is the conservative radio station in LA. And he was supposed to be like the pothole king. And they did this whole expose on how he said $25 million was going into potholes. And they got the addresses of like 9 potholes that were filled for $25 million. And they're like, where's the rest of the money? And people were just like, like the news cycle, it goes so quick. And we spend so much time caring about, a nip slip from the Kardashians or whatever, like, that we're not focusing on the things that like truly matter. And we have such like quick news cycle. We're not paying attention to some of the shit that like really does matter. And that should have never been let go. He should have gone to prison for that, for misappropriation of funds.
Well, he's the same person, allegedly. I don't want to say it was him, but the Times, I'm not going to say which Times, did an article on LAPD was harassing, and I covered this before, harassing Black people with traffic stops. What they were actually trying to do, it was 100 days, 100 bodies, and it was two gangs. They were murdering each other. So they do the article, and then he gets LAPD to stop doing traffic stops. So now this gang is able to go carte blanche and get your murder on. And I had a date, and she jumps in the backseat of my car, and she goes, "Go, go, go!" I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "There's a gang war going on. We born under a rock." So she and I are talking, and she said two separate people, her cousin and another person, were killed on the same night because of this gang war. And because identity politics and ideology and emotion is more important than people, go ahead and keep deleting Black people. I got a virtue signal. I'm like, really, guy? And I want to say it was him. Was it 2018? No, 19. Was he?
Oh, so that was post Prop 4757 and AB 109. When they decided that carjacking was no longer a violent crime, kidnapping no longer a violent crime, a 50-year-old doing a toddler no longer a violent crime, like just like, and they called it the Safer Streets Initiative, and they were like, "Oh yes, I'm going to vote for that." Like, you totally ruined California. Yeah, I don't think that people really understand it from like a police perspective, though, because if you say, "Okay, hands off, we're not going to go into this crime-ridden neighborhood anymore and conduct any enforcement," like, there's good people that live there that want the police there. And I think it's like, if you sat at a stop sign and the people who blew through, maybe more of them had white socks on than black socks. The white socks didn't make you blow through the stop sign. You blew through the stop sign. And if 100% of the people that blew through that stop sign had white socks instead of black socks, like, I don't think we can look at that demographic and go, "Oh, fucking white socks." Like, it's just the stop sign. That's the problem. 22450A, whatever it was. You went through the stop sign. I don't care what color your socks are. The socks didn't make you blow through the stop sign. You blew through the stop sign. And I think we just look at all these statistics. I mean, there's that book, How to Lie with Statistics, that Bill Gates endorses on the back of the book. And we want to say like, "Oh, well, he's a cis white male, so he's doing this," or "He's Black, so he's doing this." And like, it's just not the way it is. There are neighborhoods that have more crime and they get more police officers.
Identity politics is a double-edged sword, because I'm bringing you in because you're blonde and blue-eyed. And when I go to fire you, "Oh, it's because she's blonde and blue-eyed." No, it's because she let LA catch on fire and didn't care, or she did some other crazy whatever. I'm not firing her because her skin color. I'm firing her because she blew through the stop sign and ran over a kid. And the other thing with hiring, are you competent? Like, dude, I don't care if it's 3 Muslim illegal Black women flying a plane. If they can fly the plane, awesome. This is amazing. I love it. So,
yeah, I would just feel better knowing that a airline, my dad was a pilot for 100 years. I would feel better knowing that they all had a standardized test and that you're not giving special dispensation to people because they are gay or something that doesn't have anything to do with flying the freaking plane. Like, it's a lot of people to be in charge of.
Yeah, I was watching something from 1986, and everyone in the room was white, but they were the Italian mafia. Fast forward to 2025, and you have the Irish mafia, and one of the guys is Jamaican, and an Asian dude, and I'm like, diversity is super cool for Hollywood. How about diversity of thought? Like, if you don't believe in God and I do, cool, we can still be best friends or whatever. But I'm gonna get turned on because you're Asian and I'm whatever. Like, and they worship it and they obsess over it. That's where I get a problem with it. Like, so.
Well, it's something that you don't have any freaking control over.
Oh, the original participation trophy.
Yeah, well, it's stupid and it needs to end. And that's why I really hope that this shit catches on with the fake accents. I'm going to be on the lookout for this because I'm ready. I'll break out my fake accent. You'll see.
So, question, Molly, where do you think we're going?
What do you mean? What are we doing?
I believe the pendulum has swung to the other side. I just want everyone to know I'm just American. But the insanity was not cool. This last 5 years of nutcaseness was too much. So with that said, like, where do you think America, and I always ask you this, where do you think we as a nation are going?
Well, hopefully, hopefully people are waking up. I don't want to dime him out, but a very good friend of mine was just in the hospital this week with complications from a woohoo and with some medical problems. And, I'm sure I sounded crazy when I was spreading my misinformation about the internet. But that's because I cared about people. And so I think the one thing that's really exciting about this dark period is that it's caused people like you and I who have been really quiet and only like chat about things secretly to find friends like this chat, with people that I wouldn't have met otherwise, and to be brave and realize that there's a lot more people like us. We really are the silent majority. And I think if we it's like that elephant with the chain around its foot, like we feel like, oh, I can't say that word on YouTube, and I mean, I still get yanked off of Instagram, and I've got 4 Instagrams, but one of mine, my super secret squirrel one, that one still gets nuked for like posting something that 3 girls from my high school can see. Like that part needs to end. So I think it's kind of exciting that we're going more towards like this sort of punk rock era of DIY and independent media and grassroots stuff and helping each other in small ways, and hopefully prioritizing smaller business, local business, and your neighbor, and going away from all these like big, I mean, we just did a show about it several weeks ago, Average Joe Patriot and I, about all these grifters and these multi-billion-dollar corporations that are charities and Fund the First, and how they are still using pictures of my dead friend to advertise them as a benevolent source to be able to help her through her chemotherapy that she's not taking anymore because she's dead. So I think I kind of like a little bit of the Karen culture. I like that we're not putting up with shit. And I don't know where it goes.
What's funny is, so I'd be accused of being a sellout or Uncle Tom because I actually care about Black people and I don't want us getting hurt. And you know me, I care about people, period. But when you specifically target women or gay people or children or Black people, I care about that. And there are legitimate concerns, and they're not being met. It's just performative and theatrical, like, oh, look what we're doing for you. You're not doing anything. All you do is you hurt us when you do this stuff. And I just think it's just a wake up time. Like, wake up. And I only woke up in 2018. Like before that, completely asleep. So.
Yeah, I would say if there's any like theme of this is just to be like gentle with each other and understand that we all do come from different places, and even if you still have people that aren't red pilled or awake or whatever you want to call it, like be gentle with them. Like, I mean, if you grew up totally loving the Doors but not the Beatles, and like I've never heard the Doors yet, it's like, just chill out, like introduce me to it, and like don't judge me for not knowing who they are.
Even the chat, like Ben and a few others, like they say stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, it was the Vermont time period. Or someone else said something in chat. So be gentle. I am ignorant. I don't know a lot of stuff that you guys are saying, and I welcome it. I appreciate that you're like, what are you, an idiot? You don't know what happened with Hitler and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I'm here to learn.
Yeah, even my friend that was in the hospital this week was just like, I'm not going to be like, bro, I fucking told you. You just have to give them the best information possible. These are the doctors that are working on injuries. Get a full printed copy of all your medical records in case this goes class action, because there's going to be some hackings that are going to prevent a lot of people from accessing your medical records at some point. So you want to make sure that you have those. And just to help him, like, he's in a bad enough spot. He doesn't need me to kick him when he's down. It's just like when I moved out to the Midwest, I had this idea that life was going to be so much better right from the beginning, this breath of fresh air, that I wasn't going to have to deal with crime, and I'll go work for this other police agency. And the police agency were criminals. So I had to be gentle with myself too, because it's like, well, fuck, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have worked for them, obviously. And I never thought that I would be where I'm at in life. I don't know. I think we all just deserve a little fucking grace. Whether you're a city folk or country folk. Did you see that I put that you're a city rat, that I'm a country mouse, and I put that you're a city rat? I love you, Randy. Oh, shit. It's after 10. I have to get out of here because the alarm is going to go off and life is going to be shitty. I don't need to get arrested.
I will say this. Love the chat. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody in the chat all over the place. Again, if you would please, like, before we end, just go hit a little thumbs up someplace. Make us feel special. And then if you'll go follow me on Rumble or YouTube under Molly Sleuth, because I don't think we're going to be stealing the Kate Awakening shit anymore. My baby sister has kicked me out. Well, she hasn't, but she's going through some stuff, doing a lot of things right now. And she just doesn't need the added hassle of me borrowing her clothes. So I have to just move on and fly from the nest, I think, until she can come play again. So if you could go to the Molly Sleuth and come follow me so you can see us. And Randy, I don't know when you'll be back. And actually, I don't even know what I'm doing. Go to all 3 channels and hit the thumb. Oh, thanks, Becky Lou. Good talk, good talk. Thank you, Rose Thistleart. So, Randy, love you, dude.
Love you. Also, chat, there is no us without you guys. So appreciate all you guys.
Yeah. Because Randy and I could fucking talk. We'll be on the phone for like hours. But I don't have to put lipstick on to be on the phone with him. So
me neither.
Give my lipstick a thumbs up. It's Life Sleuth Molly on Rumble. Thank you, Rose Thistleart. All right. Thanks, chatters. Thank you, Ben. And I guess we will see you. I've got some music someplace. Did you like my little jerk thing? That was pretty fun. Oh, I got to take YouTube off. YouTube hates that music. So we'll remove.